Well, this little sleeping bag is not doing it for me. I am cold. That's why I'm actually out here in the motorcycle jacket, because I'm that cold. So I think I'm going to make my way into town today and see about getting either a different bag or a liner or something to help keep these nights a little bit better. Because, yeah, I don't like waking up cold. Yep. With the bike loaded up once again, I started the engine and set off, leaving another campsite behind, ready to make my way further west. I'd left Washington, D.C. roughly a week before, and taking mostly back roads, made my way down the Appalachians, across the southern states, over the Mississippi, through the Ozarks, and into Oklahoma. Since I needed a new sleeping bag, I changed my route to take me into Tulsa, someplace I'd be able to do a little shopping. Where better to buy new gear than a Bass Pro Shop? Yeah, so I'm in Tulsa, and ended up having to get a couple of things. We got ourselves a new sleeping bag, a little air mattress, and everything ties onto the bike pretty well. So hopefully tonight I'll be just a little bit warmer. So one of the things I've discovered is that this whole little intersection area right here is one that I used to come to a lot when I was a kid. And I mean, like, really a kid. Like 5. So I don't really remember it that much, but I remember the names. Memorial, 71st Street. Down to the left we have 89th. For some reason 89th means something, I don't know why. So yeah, like this IBC Bank. Pretty certain I used to associate that with IBC Root Beer. This Woodland Hills Mall, I want to say I used to shop there with my mom as a kid. Do I remember any of this? No. But these are just little fleeting images I get. Little, small little synapses that fire. But Oklahoma is more than just cities and banks. So behind me here is one of the few things Oklahoma is known for, aside from the musical: oil. You see these oil pumps littered all over the landscape out here, and it's quite something to see them working like this. Something indeed. Impressive machines. Those things are just simple machine, really. Just small engine, camshaft, converts rotary motion into a linear motion. Compared to the roads of the eastern states, those in Oklahoma seem to stretch on forever, mile after mile in an unending straight line. It was boring. and I began to look for any chance to break up the monotony. Oh, is that a windmill? Oh, be spinning. Spin. If you spin, I might stop. You're spinning. But this was Oklahoma in the springtime, which meant I soon had something else to distract me. This rain is starting to look even more ominous. It really looks bad through the dark visor of the helmet. That was some lightning. That was some bright lightning. I wonder if my little side view camera is picking that up. Not sure what it looks like to the camera, but to me it looks very, very ominous, and I'm so glad I did not take the northern route like I had planned on. I don't think I want to go through that. Now up ahead on the left, I thought I saw a little bit ago a dust devil or tornado. Oh wait, there it is again. Straight ahead. Look at that. That is definitely a little dust devil. Little baby tornadoes. So faint, I don't know if you can actually see it. Big drops starting to fall. But there's a main street 6.5 miles. I got 6.5 miles worth of gas. I do not want to stop out here for that straight lightning bolt. I've seen videos of guys who, park their bike, kickstand down, and lightning comes out and hits it. So, I think it's in my best interest to go straight through. Look at this. Here I am, cooking dinner. Chicken. Every so often I take that off. Put the rice on. Stir that up. And soon we'll have ourselves a very nice meal. And it was a nice evening too. One that turned into a beautiful morning. As I crossed into New Mexico, I felt like I had stepped onto the set of a John Wayne movie. A part of me kept expecting to see the Duke himself out riding on horseback. But no. Instead, I found myself on the same road that was described to me the night before.
Like, let me go this way. And some of the most beautiful, you're just going down this canyon. I mean, I was still running 60. It was a little washboardy.
Yeah.
But just running down this beautiful mesa canyon, just deer all over the place.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, well, hey, I can do a dirt road. Go for it.
Hey, nothing's stopping you.
I was like, it'd been nice to have been on like an R1200 GS or something, but
A little bit.
Yeah, it's
If you're on the road long enough, eventually you'll get stopped by a train. This one, however, seemed to go on forever. Eventually, after what seemed like ages, I found myself in new terrain. Rock-faced mountains, green trees, roadside streams. It was everything I expected Colorado to be, yet I was still in northern New Mexico. While I was glad to be on curving roads again, I soon began to realize a problem. I had planned on getting new tires sometime after reaching the Pacific, but the straight roads of Oklahoma had done their damage. Knowing there'd be more dirt roads in the days ahead, I headed south, past Santa Fe and into Albuquerque, where I'd hoped to find some good off-road tires. But they didn't have anything in my size. Instead, I was recommended something that looked more like it was meant for the street. Time would tell just how well they would work. But since the shop was too busy to install them, I had to figure out how to strap them onto the bike, something that already felt overloaded, and head across town to someplace that could help me out. And since I had nothing better to do while I waited, I took a new Tiger 800 out for a test ride, imagining just how much more comfortable the trip would have been on a bike like that. Let's tuck in. Oh, comfy. So smooth. I like this bike. I think I could like this. Back at the shop, I had new tires, but I was now down a tent. Apparently I'd tied things down wrong, and my tent had fallen, melting against the bike's high exhaust. I'd have to make yet another stop for new gear. This time at an REI. Gotcha. Alrighty. Let's go see about getting that replacement tent. Finally, with everything sorted out, it was time to get back on with the trip. I sped northwesterly, making my way towards a landmark that existed for no other reason than because it was on a map. So just behind me is the Four Corners Monument. This is the only place in the United States where 4 states meet all at once in one specific spot. It's definitely a touristy thing, but still something interesting to say that I've been to. Because isn't that what this whole thing's about? Just to say that you've been somewhere? It's one thing to walk across a state border, but that's not how you see a state. For that, you need something with wheels. And so I crossed into Utah the proper way, looking for a small dirt road that would take me to a place known as the Valley of the Gods. Because where else would make such an amazing place to set up camp for the night? This is just absolutely stunning scenery. I can't even believe I'm staying out here. You know, I woke up at one point last night and all I could see above me was just stars. More stars than I've ever seen before in my life. You don't get stuff like that in the city. So, yeah, this was definitely worthwhile. No question about that. Okay, once again, we have the bike loaded up and we are ready to leave this wondrous, magical looking place. I just, it is so hard for me to fathom that we have terrain like this in the United States. I guess it's also hard for me to fathom that terrain like this even exists on Earth. Well, I saw the sign that said the campgrounds are full. So where's the next closest spot to camp at?
Closest spot to camp at is that way.
Okay.
Half mile down, the Zion Mountain Tent and RV spot.
Uh-huh.
And then Zion Ponderosa Ranch after that.
Okay.
These are all from the east entrance. They give you the mileage.
Right. What about further on that way?
We have the campgrounds listed from the south entrance.
That's the south. Okay. Works for me. Thank you. Not wanting to turn around, I pushed onwards into Zion Canyon. Instantly, I felt that this was one of America's hidden secrets and struggled with taking it all in. Just whoa. Have I said whoa? Oh, and look at that. These are the switchbacks. Oh, man. You know, I almost don't mind the traffic because that's forcing me to go extra slow. And the slower I go, the more I am just going to stare in awe. Note to self, don't use the word awesome anymore, unless you're describing something like this. Because that's what this is. This is awe-inspiring. Awesome. Just awe. I am in awe. That bug just went in my eye. Just outside of the national park's boundaries was the small town of Springdale. The town had a certain charm, something that made me want to spend the night there instead of in a tent someplace else. That, and there was a small rock shop I had just passed, my mind beginning to think of the souvenirs I'd be bringing back home to Alyssa. After all, she did tell me she wanted me to bring back a rock from out west. Next time, I look at some airplanes.
Guy just has a bunch of old aircraft sitting in his front yard.
Fly in a helicopter. Who would have thought? And complain about snow. That in mid-April, late April, it'd be snowing.